Wow. First of all, can we take a moment and look at our beautiful new stream center?
Yes. Check out the colors, the LED lights, all that, guys. And for those that are listening and not watching, we have a new revamped studio.
We do,
yes.
and it looks beautiful. So if you are only listening and not watching, you need to go figure out a way to go watch, because that's what you need to do.
Absolutely.
Good morning, everybody. We're back. It's your host, Deanne King, Terrence Middlebrooks. How you feeling, Terrence?
Glad to be back.
Same.
To be back. It's been far too long. Deanne.
3 months.
Far too long. I missed you sitting over there across from me or next to me.
I missed you too.
However you want to look at it or listen to it.
It has been 3 long months. We've received the emails, the Instagram messages, the comments on Facebook, the Facebook messages. We have missed you all, first and foremost. We're gonna take things back a little bit. Like, what happened?
Well, look, we know that our acronym for Rooted in Progress is RIP.
RIP.
And some of y'all probably thought that was it for us. Like,
no.
We recently departed from this earth.
Was not the case.
But
However, so what had happened was...
We are resurrected.
What had happened was the Stream Center. So the Stream Center got a huge upgrade. As you all know, or if you do not know, WFLA, we've had a really big push to go to streaming. So we now have a streaming app. You can look at it on Roku, on Samsung TV, Apple TV, you name it. And so ultimately we did a little revamp.
Yeah.
So the streaming center got an upgrade and it took 3 months.
Yeah. I like these colors, man.
I do too.
They accentuate all of our positives.
Yeah, I do too.
Man,
this
telling
is
you, this is
really,
bad.
we took and we used these last 3 months. A part of those 3 months, of course, was Black History Month. And I kid y'all not, I'm going to keep it real with you. I walked into my boss's office and I said, so y'all going to shut Rooted in Progress down during Black History Month? Like, of all months in the year, you going to shut the Black show down during the Black month? Like, come on, somebody.
Yeah.
But we know, no, it wasn't intentional. It wasn't intentional. The project took a little bit of time. And during that time, we were able to revamp. We have a new open. We have some new graphics. We're going to be bringing you some new topics, new guests. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back, man. It's something that we've been on the air almost a year now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, almost coming up on a year now, and it's something that I look forward to it every week.
Yeah.
And during the time that we launched, we might have missed 1 or 2 weeks. I guess maybe 1 or 2.
But that's it.
But this 3 months has really just kind of left a hole.
Mm-hmm.
In our day or in our week.
We had the Black History Month special to fill that hole, though.
Yeah,
hopefully
we
you
did.
all watched.
Yeah, we did.
For those watching right now, I know we have several folks live on Facebook and on our app. If you missed it, man, I feel so sorry for you. We did Rooted in Excellence. So we took our Rooted in Progress brand and essentially turned it into Rooted in Excellence, where we were able to focus on the excellence within Black communities. We talked about farmers. We talked about folks in the church. Shout out to Beulah Baptist and Pastor Alan Harris letting us actually shoot it at Beulah. We talked about excellence in healthcare, excellence in education, and Terrence, I was so proud of us.
Well, we took over Beulah Baptist, which is a historic Black church here in Tampa, pretty much the entire day. We were faced with some challenges. There was a funeral that was planned that week. So we really was trying to get in. And if you're watching, what you're looking at right now are some behind the scene pictures of our day in action, man. It took a team, complete team of people to pull this off. So it's not too late. You're not out of luck. You can always go to our YouTube, WFLA YouTube, and just type in Rooted in Excellence, WFLA, and you watch the entire program, like, subscribe, do the whole 9. And that's something that I just tip my hat off to the WFLA for just giving us that opportunity to continue to and support Black history.
Yeah, Black history it's one of those things, y'all know that's our bread and butter. We love it, and we're always going to advocate in any way that we possibly can. And this one was special. We had Reverend Al Sharpton.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
Go back and watch, guys. Please go back and watch.
Come on, somebody.
Yes.
So yeah, if you can, it's also on our website, WFLA.com. Again, just search for Rooted in Excellence. But meantime, it's time to get to Rooted in Progress. Yes. We have so much going on in Tampa right now. I'm freaking out because I don't know how I'm going to go to every event. how I'm going to survive. I've taken off. I will not be at work on Friday or on Monday because I'm going to need time to prepare and recoup.
I thought that was your every week off days.
I wish.
You know,
Can I get that in my contract?
You're off somewhere.
Final Four.
Yes.
Women's Final Four
is here.
Tourneytown.
Down the street.
Opening today.
Yes.
And basically, this is the hub for all things women's basketball, women's sports in general.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go to downtown Tampa or you go over there near the convention center, my goodness,
right.
It looks like we spit up basketball.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
So the court is down right now. We got games tomorrow. There are 2 games tomorrow. The championship game is on Sunday. Ticket prices are ridiculous. So it's going to be a really good time. So we said Final Four is in town, so we had to bring in a heavy hitter.
Yes,
you know what I mean? It's the first episode back, Terrence.
Right. Yes.
We could just bring in anybody.
Well, and again, you're talking WFLA, NCAA Final Four, Women's Final Four. You got some of the best women basketball players in the country.
Yeah.
Right here in our backyard. And if you're a basketball fan or not, if you're just a sports enthusiast, take the time and the opportunity. If you're here or anywhere near the downtown Tampa area, stop by and take advantage of some of the many free activities and events that are taking place just down the street. Just come and get in the hype, get in the mix. And
and even near Curtis Hickson.
Yeah. But man, I'm excited about this guest we have right here.
We have none other than ESPN's very own Tiffany Greene. She is legendary. She's a pioneer. She is a force to be reckoned with, a mom, a wife, one of my favorites, a woman of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Okay. And more importantly, you're local, you're here in Tampa. We're so honored to have you.
Welcome, Tiffany.
I am delighted to be here. Y'all, I'm about to turn up with y'all.
Yes,
because the
please.
energy that you all are bringing right now, that's right. That's why I need that air horn. You got to get that. There you go.
Look,
That's
I'll do
right.
that all day.
Double time on the air horn.
That's
Do that
it.
all day. That's it. Let's go.
I love it. I love this energy. It was so funny, y'all. I reached out to Tiffany, and what they now know. So both Tiffany and Terrence know. I have watched Tiffany for years. I originally wanted to go into sports, and I'm like, I need to find a Black woman who's killing it. You know, to get inspired and see how this thing goes. And lo and behold, who am I watching? Tiffany Greene.
Yeah.
And then of course, me being from Tallahassee, you went to FAMU. You have done so much in your career. So one, I honor you.
Thank you.
I thank you for what you have done for the culture, what you have done for young women and women like me, and inspiring me to even get in this field. I didn't go to sports. It was too much. But I thank you for what you have done. What inspired you? What made you even want to get in this business?
You know, this is something that I've always wanted to do. I'll be honest with you. Like when I was a little girl, I was always interested in sports and trying to find ways to involve myself in it. I was watching football games, basketball games, baseball games, you name it.
Wow.
I was always somehow taking in and consuming sports. And then my father was a pioneer broadcaster here as well. I didn't know or see him here in Tampa.
Okay.
He was at Fox 13 as the first African-American anchor
history.
reporter at Fox 13. And so that was a huge deal. But I didn't get a chance to see him on TV at the time. So he was in radio by the time that, you know, I came up and saw everything that was happening. But literally, it was a dream that I had since I was 5 years old. Like, looked in my early years yearbook, and I wanted to be a sportscaster. That's exactly what I wrote down. Wow. One dream, one egg, one basket, and went about it with like a relentless type of desire to be like, I can do this.
Yeah.
I can completely do this and be this. And then my parents were great in helping to support me and making me believe that I could do it.
Did you play sports coming up?
I did. I played a little bit of everything. So my mom put me in cheerleading.
I feel like that's always the first sport for
That
us.
was not me. That did not fit your girl. Okay, I'm a self-proclaimed tomboy when I was growing up, right? So I was so much more interested in the football game that I was cheering for. Shout out to Skyway Cardinals. And then I moved into softball. played everything at the Boys and Girls Club, and then in high school at Hillsborough High School. I did a little bit of track, but I was primarily basketball and golf.
Wow.
Wanted to go on to FAMU and play in college. My folks were like, you're going to be the student, but not the athlete.
Yeah.
So I got a bowling scholarship.
Hey.
Okay.
That's
Crazy random fact, right?
With it.
Hey, one
That's
time.
an
You go where the money is.
One time.
Right. Exactly. You do what you got to do.
So I was able to bowl for a couple of years. I was there on an academic scholarship, but also got a little extra change in the pocket from bowling. So I got to fulfill my dream of being an NCAA student athlete.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So always been in sports. Always
That's
been in
amazing.
sports.
Wow. And why'd you choose FAMU?
A fourth generation. That was all I knew.
Okay.
I bled
So you
orange and
bled
green.
orange
So like
and
my
green.
great grandmother graduated in 1908, a very special year, of course.
Of course.
And and then all my family, my parents, my grandparents, cousins, aunts, uncles, everybody was at FAMU.
Wow. Okay, so you just a rattler to
Through
the
and
day
through,
you die.
through and through. That's all I know. I bleed orange and green, and it's something in the water. You know that, right?
Yeah,
it's something in the
do.
water.
I do. But lo and behold, I mean, FAMU, the journalism program at FAMU,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
top notch.
Come on.
It is tremendous. And I thank you all for recognizing it as such, because the School of Journalism and Graphic Communication, of which I sit on the board of visitors, has pumped out so many talented individuals, right? So from your Rod Carters, who were right here at WFLA, your Kim Godwins, who was the former president of ABC News, your Peter McKay at Wall Street Journal, Marlon Walker. I mean, there are so many names that I can call out, and it's all because of FAMU's School of Journalism, which I affectionately call J School.
J School. That's
and
what y'all call it.
It's one of the best, and I'm gonna tell you, everyone is just like, well, how does it compare to other schools throughout the country? I learned everything that I needed to know in that instance at FAMU, and the only thing it couldn't teach me was office politics, which y'all realize that's on the job type of thing. Everything else, though,
comes along the
it
journey.
prepared me for the future.
Well, go ahead, dear.
No, go
well,
ahead.
I'm just, we all know, of course, we're all broadcasters here. We know this road can be rough. Early on in your career, did you ever have in mind, which we all have in mind, that we want to get to the top? ESPN, Fox Sports. Talk about that journey. Talk about when you said that's going to be my goal and nothing's going to stop me.
It was definitely a process, but I wouldn't give anything for my journey, because I believe that if you till the soil, you will reap a harvest. And I believed in putting in my time, paying my dues. So I started out here as an intern at WFLA my freshman year in college. Shout out to WFLA. I always wanted to be a part of Tampa Bay's news leader. That's what we grew up watching, right? Bob Hitt,
And I call myself
Gil
doing research, and I missed that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's through and through, right? I'm so Tampa.
You
okay?
are,
I'm so
very
Tampa.
much so Tampa.
But it was working on the local affiliate side for a number of years, raising my hand, saying, "Hey, I want to be in sports." No, we're gonna start out as a part-time production assistant at a startup station. Or, "Hey, I really can do sports on the weekend." No, we're gonna assign you as a general assignment reporter, because this is where the opportunity is. So it was those types of things of just getting my foot in the door and saying, I can do more, and not being ashamed to advocate for myself to say I could. Getting those opportunities because I just kept being persistent about it. And after about, I would say, 7 years in local television and doing the general assignment beat and feature reporting, then I was able to move full time into sports with another 24-hour local news network, and then turn sports network. So it was a process. People think you just kind of jump into it, but they don't know the work that goes into it. So there were a whole lot of no's before there were yeses, and there was a whole lot of failure before there was success. And then those failures helped to teach me so much more than the successes ever could, because it showed me the drive and the desire that you have to have in order to be successful. So I was just like, y'all not gonna tell me no. and what's the worst you can tell me?
Yeah.
No? Okay.
Right.
So I'm
On
gonna
to
just
the
find
next.
another route
Yeah.
to get to the yes that I'm looking for.
On to the next.
So was your first network, was that with Bright House?
Bright House.
Okay.
Bright House Sports Network was my first
Wow.
official network. They had just started the sports network at the time, Bright House Sports Network, which is no longer, but that was everything for me, because it allowed me to do everything. right? So I could report, I was already producing, could be an anchor, but play-by-play opportunities is where I was able to flourish. You didn't see that very often on a regional network level or beyond. You didn't have those types of opportunities. So to be able to call games, right? So I was calling volleyball state championships, basketball state championships, baseball and softball state championships, sideline reporting for high school football championships. That's crazy.
Yes.
Right.
Like that just didn't exist at that time. So I give them a lot of credit for being at the forefront, but that is what helped to really lay the groundwork for me to make the jump to ESPN. And before I got to ESPN, I had to get somebody's eye.
Yep.
So shout out to the National Association of Black Journalists.
Come on, NABJ.
We all understand
Yes.
what NABJ
Yep.
means to
NABJ.
all of us, right?
Yes, yes.
And it was a gentleman who was a Fox Sports executive took a chance on me and said, hey, you know what? We're starting up our Big East package, right? Fox Sports 1 was just coming on. Okay. Would you like to call the inaugural season of women's basketball for Big East here?
That's
I said,
huge.
yeah,
right.
Sure, big deal. But it was because I was catapulted on the national scene with them that really turned the head, I think, of ESPN to say, oh, she could do this.
Yeah.
Oh, she got this, right? Because I was doing sideline reporting, spotty with college football stuff with ESPN, but nothing on a full-time level. Then Fox Sports took that chance on me, and it made all the difference.
They took that chance, but I mean, you come from a lineage of history makers and pioneers, and we buried the lead here, but I didn't want to say it until we got to this point because, like you said, it took failures. It took a lot for you to even get to where you are. But then you go through all of that, you get on the big stage, and then you realize you're about to be the first Black woman to ever serve as play-by-play commentator for college football on any major network. What are you thinking? What's going through your mind at that moment?
Lord, don't let me screw up.
I know that.
I mean, I'm a huge Jay-Z fan, so I was like
Same
bumping Jay-Z.
here.
You know, he's got this swag about him. He's got this little arrogance about him.
Yeah.
I am not arrogant. However,
Humble.
I'm humble. Yeah. And so I was like, yo, I need to channel my inner Jay on this because I also felt the weight of the moment, right? If I mess this up, then how long would it take for another Black woman to sit in this role? And sadly, I'm still the only one.
Yeah.
So
We'll talk about
my
the pressure.
job is to make that change, right? Help to change that because I was sharing something with a group of young Black female play-by-plays who will only make up like 6% of all play-by-plays. That's crazy. Wow. And let me say this, 6% African-American. Right. Yeah. So we're even smaller number within that as Black women. Yeah. So my goal is to open the door, bust it so wide open that so many can flood through and then do better and more than whatever it is that I'm doing. But it was a tremendous weight, but there was also the significance that didn't, like fall by the wayside. Yeah. I was clear in what it was, and I was ready and prepared for the moment because, well, I have faith. I have faith in God. So he carried me through that, but also I was prepared. Yeah. I had done my work. Yeah. And all of those failures that we had talked about, all those side steps, all those detours that happened along the way only made me all the more prepared for when I was able to step into that opportunity, preparation meets success and opportunity and all that kind of stuff. You've heard those terms and words kind of thrown around, but truly, that preparation, that grinding down and refining along the way really helped to make me ready for the moment.
Yeah, and we're not just talking just any college football game. We're talking college game day, D1, these big conference games that you see on Saturday mornings. I mean, there's someone on TV that looks like looks like the little girls that are coming up which I'm sure there's probably not a lot of Black young ladies who are watching college game day football or grow up want to be a play-by-play football analyst. So shout out to you. Talk about, to me, I'm just interested. Talk about that pressure, that first game that you called. You're going up against, typically those people that sit in your seat are former athletes or former players that know the game because of the POV of the game. Right. So talk about that. Like, how was the preparation leading up to that?
What's wild is I grew up watching John Madden and Pat Summerall, right? Al Michaels. I mean, you're going to hear, those steely veterans who help to really round out and make play-by-play what it is. And so I would study what they did. But then I realized, too, that I had something to offer. Right. So I have another perspective. I felt like I knew football and I felt like I knew it well enough, but I didn't go in there trying to say that I knew everything about football. Yeah. My job is the who, what, when, where. My analyst who has played the game, who has coached in the game, can tell you the how and why it's happening. So in being a great player as a part of a team, you got to know your role. Right. And so I know my role, and my role is to tee up my analysts to make sure that they look great. They look great. I look great.
Knowing the stories.
And so I want to tell you the background on why you should care about these teams and why you should care about these players and what's significant about this institution or what they've done within this program. That's what I'm passionate about, because all I'm doing is telling stories no differently than I did when I was doing it on the local level as a general assignment reporter, right? Bringing it back to my roots.
Literally.
Right?
We love to stay rooted now.
Gotta
Come
stay
on, somebody.
Gotta stay rooted. So that was one of the things. And I think, too, so I didn't try to do more than I needed to, right? Just stay within yourself. You hear coaches talk about that all the time with athletes, just staying within yourself. And then I called and I asked for help because I wasn't ashamed to ask for help. So I asked my analyst, like, yo, what do I need to know in this instance? Or we're talking in the midst of, breaks, like, how do you need me to tee you up, or what direction do you want me to go?
That's good.
That was building a trust over years, and I work with Jay Walker a lot. He was a former NFL quarterback and went to Howard University, and now he's a Black College Football Hall of Famer. So he's a guy who was also willing to stand next to me and support me. And I give him credit for that, because it also helped to kind of give a check mark to others who are watching on to say, oh, all right. She's legit, she can stay. She good. She's good. And then, but I say this, and I'm going to kind of move the conversation, because sometimes the thought is, okay, well, you're a woman and you're a Black woman. What do you know about sports? Clearly, I've been challenged with that my entire life, right? So trying to say that I belong and I'm demanding respect, I'm earning that respect. But then also it's like, well, how do you fit in? Like, do you sound a particular way? Do you sound like everybody else? No, I'm one of one. You're one of one, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna sound like Tiffany.
I'm gonna sound like Tiffany.
Exactly.
And I am a Black woman. You mentioned I'm a mother. I love hip hop. I just told you my affinity for Jay-Z, right? So what does he say? I'm one of one. Okay, I'm not gonna sit here and drop some.
Sorry.
All right, I can quote all of Jay-Z's lyrics, but anyway, so it's okay to have my own style. It's okay to embrace my own voice, and if I go mustard on a home run call or on a touchdown. That's cool.
Yeah.
I could do that.
A modern day Stuart Scott. Look what he brought to the table. Stuart Scott brought a whole different realm of sports commentating to the airways, and he is known now. I mean, you still hear his lyrics being dropped. Cool as the other side of the pillow, and all these other. So let's kind of maybe dive into your family life and your local Tampanian. Your husband he just got to be on cloud nine when you guys met. I mean, having his wife know sports and you guys sitting there.
Be that grok.
No, it may be a little intimidating because you may know a little bit more than him, but what's his mindset when it comes to that?
Well, thankfully, we've known each other since freshman year at FAMU. That's where we met, right?
Okay.
So we go all the way back. So he's watched the journey and walked alongside me. That's been so important because he's my biggest cheerleader. And I also go back to him. I'm my biggest critic. Yeah. But certainly he'll let me know. Okay. He is never afraid to let me know in a loving, supportive way, right? It's constructive. And so we sit there and we talk sports all the time. And we have a lot of conversation around who the greatest is, no different than everybody else in the water cooler conversations after
LeBron
a game, the LeBron versus Michael Jordan. I show my kids. I showed my kids the what was it, 1986 Jordan free throw flying. I was like,
Come fly.
There's no question.
Yeah.
There's no question.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Okay. But he's amazing, and I thank you for asking about him because so many people see me in the forefront, but it's his support, his love, and his desire to want to see me be my best self that really fuels me and makes me, because like every decision, all these weekends that I have to be gone, I gotta check in.
Yeah.
I'm okay to say it. I gotta check in. I gotta make sure that's okay because that's the most important relationship that I have in my life next to Christ. Wow. So making sure that I make that a priority helps me to keep everything else in alignment.
Y'all better get this marital advice. Y'all better get this marital advice right here on Rooted in Progress. No, that's beautiful because it does take, and I think that happens, right? Like these people or people in the community or just fans or viewers, whatever you want to call them, they see the person, but they don't see the people behind them, behind the support, the people behind the scenes that help fuel that person who they're looking at.
And this industry is tough, especially the sports broadcasting industry. You know, you think about it right now, March Madness taking place. I've worked behind the scenes. I've been part of film crews and production crews from Super Bowl to World Series. So I know that travel can be tough, not only personally, but also on family and that support. And with you having young children at home, a husband at home, and man, you know, you're Tiffany Greene on ESPN.
You sound like my husband because he walks around and says, "Oh, you're Tiffany Greene. Oh, look at you."
We're not talking Tiffany covering local sports here, traveling across the county. We're talking across the country.
But at least you're here right now.
You made it here.
Amen to that.
And it's in your backyard.
Amen to that.
You know,
and you've covered every other Final Four that's been here in Tampa, right?
Yep.
What's that been like?
Well, look, the record fourth, okay? We're here for it all. Little cheesy plug, but it's amazing because when you watch the growth of women's sports and women's basketball in particular, it just shows the moment and movement that is right now. And it's been building because there have been some tremendous athletes prior, right? Some phenomenal coaches all throughout. But I'm so glad that everyone is collectively giving the love and the flowers that are deserved to these women now, but also to the pioneers and trailblazers from before. So we're not here without C. Vivian Stringer. We're not here without Pat Summitt. We're not here without Jackie Stiles, Candace Parker, Cheryl Miller, like Cheryl Swoops. Like we could go down the whole Houston Comedy team. Like we can go down everybody, but literally that's what paved the way. So you see an Angel Reese and a Caitlin Clark and a Juju Watkins and a Hannah Hidalgo and a Paige Beckers. They're the reasons why we are here. And so Tampa is just like this wonderful spot to like pop it off and take it to another level because we do things different here.
We do.
Okay?
We do.
We do things different and we do it big. World class, baby.
Wow. What's going on with you? What are you looking forward to, especially this weekend? So it's Thursday.
Yeah.
We have games tomorrow, games on Sunday. How involved are you going to be? What do you have going on?
Look, I get to be a fan in my own city.
Really?
Okay? Like when and where does that happen? Not many places and not very often. So I am relishing in this moment. I want you to know Asia Wilson is going to be here dropping the shoe, the A1. So I'm a big fan.
Gonna be there.
I fangirl.
We'll be there together.
I don't get excited about like a lot of athletes, but when you have someone of her caliber, the way that she is able to represent, to elevate everyone that's around her and use her platform to voice things that for people like you and me and for us on this podcast and those that are in our community, I think is just tremendous. I have an abundance of respect for her.
She's
I fangirl
amazing.
over her and Dawn Staley. But also hosting an event later tonight to just welcome folks to my home as a native Tampanian. Welcome to Tampa, doing the WBCA Hall of Fame breakfast Friday morning. Go see Glorilla.
Good luck with that.
I'm ready.
We did an interview and we had a woman who was like a rep for NCAA and she was like, we have all these free family family friendly events. We have Glorilla. I said, ma'am, that is not family friendly.
No.
Glorilla.
She's not coming with the clean version.
Right.
Live might not be family. There you go.
A free event featuring Glorilla.
Talking about,
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm here for it all. But then the games, right? Like, that's the main attraction.
Yeah.
And because this year has been so up in the air and there's been so much parity around who's going to be the champion, I don't know. Like, South Carolina, South Carolina
based off that last game.
You can't bet against South Carolina nor UConn. It's going to be a tough matchup.
Okay.
I'm just going off the history of UConn.
You're right. 11 national championships.
Yes.
Nobody can dispute that. Nobody can dispute that.
But
Paige Becker's been here. She's yet to win one. 4 Final Four, yet to win one.
And
so she's hungry.
I'm going to take it there.
Okay.
Would they have won that game if Juju Watkins was on the court?
I thought they played well even without her. I really thought that they were going to meet their match sooner than later. If Juju had been on the court.
But what if Juju was on the court?
I certainly think
would they be in Tampa right now?
Would have made a tremendous difference.
Yeah.
Right.
But I will say that this is a UConn team that is playing a little different.
Listen,
like a healthy Paige, a healthy AZ Fudd. Sarah Strong's going to be your national freshman of the year.
Yeah.
Sarah, please.
Come on. Yes.
But hands down, great. Coach Gino, you can't go against him. That guy has all the experience in the world, and we're not talking just March Madness experience. We're talking national championship experience.
That's true. Right.
So that's something you got to really keep in the forefront.
Don.
Yeah. But then Don is
I mean,
that's
how do you go against
3 titles since 2017. Okay, trying to go back-to-back since UConn did it. When that 4-peat run that they had from 2012 to 2016. So they've got all the pieces. Mylasia Fulwiley is the generational talent that we know.
Like Steph Curry wears her name.
Like, did you see how she took over?
Oh,
in the last 2 minutes
of the last game?
That Duke game to get them here.
Yes.
Okay. Special.
Very.
So, and they've got so much experience. And I think that's what you also saw, right? Like the combination of Mylasia Fulwiley and all of her amazingness and the experience of a South Carolina team that doesn't get rattled when they're down or when it's tough. They know how to pull through and win games. So I think that's really tough when you're facing against them. And they play Texas again. For the 4th time.
I know. I didn't have this matchup. Do you know who I had going in the Final Four? I'm going to say it because people talked about me.
Okay.
But they still got pretty far.
Okay.
I had TCU.
You had TCU.
Shout out to TCU, Mark Campbell, and Haley Van Lith. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all.
TCU beating Texas.
Yeah. I'm not mad at that.
That's I know you. And nothing against TCU because TCU is a very tough team.
They
have great players, but for you to pick TCU,
I did because I knew there would be an upset.
I want to see your bracket. I want to see your bracket from 3 weeks ago.
Let me tell you, I only got like 6 games wrong until we got to like Elite 8.
Okay.
Yeah, we go request that bracket.
I want to see proof of that. I was so mad.
I'm gonna put my journalism hat on today.
Wait a minute.
I'm gonna go look for that
You're
bracket.
questioning that. You're gonna call that into question. You're gonna bring that to the floor.
I'm gonna put an asterisk next to that.
I had USC.
Yeah.
I had USC, and here we are.
Well, I had Notre Dame. If it makes you feel any better, I had Notre Dame coming out of Birmingham. What was it, Regional 3? So I had them beating Texas. UCLA, hard to go against them. So I had UCLA, UConn, South Carolina.
Okay.
So
well, I'm ashamed to say who I had. But
I'm about to say. So what's going on in your corner?
In my Final Four, I had everyone but Tennessee. I had Tennessee up there. I had Tennessee just because I'm a Tennessee native and man.
Why would you even do that?
Hey, watch out.
That's worse than TCU.
Watch your mouth. I'm from Tennessee, so I can't go against my boss.
Like that's worse than TCU.
No, Tennessee. It's like UConn. Tennessee.
Yeah.
Like they
I mean, it's UConn and then Tennessee's here. And,
11 national championships, 8 national championships.
Okay.
The number of All-Americans, national players of the year. Okay.
Well, and that's the thing, too.
It was a first-year head coach, right?
First year.
Traditionally
she
program.
Came under Pat Summitt, so I'm hoping the spirit of Pat Summitt was going to shine through. But okay, enough of the women. Let's switch over to the men. Since I'm the only male in this room right here, let's switch over to the men's side. Let's get your opinion on that.
Okay.
What's your Final Four looking like there?
An SEC Final Four on both sides.
Yeah.
Right? And you think about, what was it? Is it Auburn Florida.
Auburn, Florida.
Auburn, Florida.
Okay.
That's
And
this
then
Saturday.
Duke and Houston.
Janai Broom, that guy,
Yeah.
right? Auburn has
Yeah.
been that team. I thought they
Yes.
were going to run out of gas toward the end of the
Who's
season.
from Plant City.
Right, but Bartow's best.
Bartow's
Okay.
best.
Okay, Walter Clayton Jr.
Walter
Oh,
Clayton
that is
Jr.
true. Yes.
Yep.
Walter
Yep.
Clayton
From
Jr.
Florida.
is from
He
here.
did his thing.
Yeah.
He did.
In the Elite
He's
Eight game.
killing
Like,
it.
he was just like, did you see that? He looked like he was driving, turned around, boop, pop
That
three.
dude is
Yeah.
that dude's a
my
What was
machine.
it, like
He was a
4?
machine.
3 or 4 threes that he did?
Yeah.
In that game to get them back?
Texas
yeah.
Tech against that
Oh,
game.
yeah.
What an amazing game.
All
That
they
was an
kept
amazing
calling
game.
was Walter Clayton
Yeah.
Jr.'s name. I was
That
like,
was.
Yeah.
And then what do you have? Houston,
Houston.
Duke, right? So Cougars continue to be there, but then Duke has Cooper Flag. And,
Right.
then, and then
And-
there's a
yeah.
period at the end of that sentence.
Yes.
absolutely.
100%.
I have Duke winning it all.
In
But
one
my whole bracket is busted.
In one bracket, I do have Duke. Another bracket, I have Auburn.
Right.
So.
Auburn?
Yeah, I do have Auburn. Yeah.
So I've got Florida
Yeah.
winning it all.
Okay, I was going to say,
And-
if it's not Duke, I think it's Florida.
Yep. And so reason Florida was a sleeper for me. I know they won the SEC championship. They're one of those teams that I didn't feel like at the time deserve a ranked number 1. However,
Okay.
Florida has a bench.
Yeah.
You know how many?
Florida energy
tall
does
dudes on that
not
bench.
stop. Those guys will play till the clock reads 0. And with that type of heart and the type of dogs they have on that team, that's going to catapult them to the top. Now, I'm sticking with Duke because that's who I chose
Okay.
in one bracket, and I got
Same.
a feeling that Auburn is going to beat them this time. But I might have contradicted myself in that. But,
Okay.
Florida's tough.
This
Florida's
is all
tough.
recorded.
Yeah.
We'll go back and
Yeah,
revisit.
yeah. I'm admitting it, but
She's
Florida's
gonna pull
tough.
the tape for next time. Like
Just
next
like I'm gonna
week,
pull her
she's gonna
bracket.
be like-
I'm gonna pull her
My
bracket right here.
actually was really good until
Yeah.
Elite 8.
Yeah.
Elite 8, I went to bed in shambles and woke up in even more shambles.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like, come on,
It's
y'all.
been some exciting basketball being played
yeah.
on both sides,
Yeah.
both
Yeah.
men
Absolutely.
and women. And if you missed it, man, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
it's here in
sorry.
Tampa. We have
Yes.
games Friday. We have games on Sunday. I think, do you think we're going to have Final Four back here in Tampa another time?
Certainly, there was a push for. I mean, why would you not come back to Tampa?
Yeah.
Why would we set the standard? We had this Beyond the Baseline program that we introduced in the early 2010s, and other cities then copied it because the NCAA instituted as like, hey, can we do this Beyond the Baseline where it's a better community involvement? We work with the Girl Scouts, helping to cover just the way that we connect with community and youth. So I think Tampa is ripe for not only women's Final Four, but a men's Final Four.
Final Four.
Probably gonna have another Super Bowl back
Yeah.
here. I forgot
Yeah.
when. Like
Why not?
Tampa is everything right now. We're booming.
It's yeah.
we
It's a
we
beautiful
have
city.
all the facilities.
Yes,
I
yes.
love it.
And you have so much to take advantage of, just all in walking distance, from the waterfront to the restaurants to just everything. Man, it's a beautiful city, and it's the perfect place to have something like this again. So I hope they definitely bring them back each and every year. So,
Run it back.
We'll
Run
see
it back.
what
And look, the
happens.
ploy was made. We had Lynn Holtzman, who is the
Okay.
VP of the NCAA women's basketball, right? And there was a
Yeah.
plug yesterday at the Legacy Court dedication down at the Riverfront Center. Let's run it back.
run it back.
Let's bring it back to Tampa. And
Let's do it.
I don't know if there's going to be much said anything else in the other
Okay.
direction. So yeah.
Well, you enjoy having this time
Yeah.
to be able to be a fan
Yes.
and have fun, enjoy everything. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And,
We
and most of all,
appreciate
waking
you.
up in your own bed. I know that feels great.
How beautiful that
Working and being,
is.
yeah, so
Yes,
How can the
that's
folks
everything.
support and follow you?
So follow me on Instagram at tgreen GREENE. There you go, 34 is the best way to find me. Also on X as well, Tiffany A. Greene. So.
Oh, I love that you called it X first. I'd be like Twitter, and I'm like,
Well,
oh,
I was about
X.
to, and then I was like, I want to look like I know what I'm talking about.
So we got a few seconds left. Tiffany, what's next for you right after this? What's on?
Oh
the
my
way?
goodness, I think I got the National Bowling Championships in Vegas.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
wow.
Okay.
Next weekend, right? And then I'm on the softball Easter weekend, and then WNBA this summer.
Nice.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome. Well, we're going to bring you back.
Yes.
We'll bring you back.
Yes.
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
This is a whole vibe.
It is.
Like I could just hang out here and do this
do it.
whenever. So
Well, we can't.
if
We
y'all
got
will
midnight
ever
coming
have
up.
me
But-
back,
You're going to be our sports commentator, our sports analyst, our sports expert.
Our deck of experts is really
it's getting
the
Rolodex is getting deep. Yes, it's
can I
getting
just
deep.
stand in the background and just like
Absolutely.
hold a sign like in support of Rooted in Progress? Because I love what you all are doing. I think it's absolutely fantastic, phenomenal. I wish we had it long time ago, but I thank you for creating the
Yes.
lane and opportunity for young people and for people in the community to just enjoy it and absorb it now.
Absolutely.
So keep on.
Man,
Thank
thank
you.
you
That
so much,
means a lot.
Tiffany. You are
Yeah.
welcome anytime. And being a former intern, I'm sure your badge still works.
Yeah.
Come on by.
We'll see.
Come on home.
Hey, and thank you all for hanging
Yes.
with us today and joining us. If you're listening to this a little bit later, we appreciate you tuning back in to Rooted in Progress because we're back.
Yes.
And we ain't going nowhere no more. No more upgrade, Stream
hear
Center.
that?
You heard me, JB?
I think he did. If not, we'll send it out.
You peeked
we'll,
around
we'll
the
share
corner.
that message.
Hey, y'all, make sure you join us 9:30 in the morning now. 9:30 every Thursday. Every Thursday. Make sure you all join us on the WFLA app. Make sure you download it, WFLA.com, and on Facebook. We actually stream it live on the Facebook page, but you can like, subscribe, and follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Oh my gosh, Terrence, it feels so good to say that.
Yeah, it's been a while. And again, let's not forget on all the smart TV apps, you can download WFLA.
Because we're
app.
streaming.
We're streaming, and you can go back and look at this as well. So it's
We're
free.
doing big things.
It's free, folks.
And it's Final
Download the
Four
app.
weekend. So, I
Yeah.
mean, in between time, just come back. And I really want to just make this a monument to who did you say you have winning it all this weekend?
I can't go against South Carolina.
Oh, so we picked the same
Yeah,
team.
yeah. Dawn Staley's
that's
a
not
monster.
fun.
She's a beast.
Okay.
But again, like I said, Coach Gino and UConn is there, but I got Dawn Staley and the South Carolina Gamecocks on top.
Okay. My goal
Yeah.
this weekend, and we're going to revisit this next week, I am meeting Dawn Staley.
Is that your
That's
prediction?
the goal.
That's your goal?
That's just the goal.
Okay.
I
You putting it
can
out
miss
there.
everything else.
Speak it
I
into
can
the
miss everything
universe.
else.
Yes.
I can miss everything else.
Speak it.
But I
Speak
just need to meet Dawn.
We're going to do that.
Okay.
We'll set that up for you. Guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in.
All right. Y'all have a good one. Stay rooted.
Stay rooted, folks.